Welcome to Brave Together Parenting, an empowering and truly helpful podcast for the parents of children with disabilities and all unique needs. And Kari, what would you say to parents who are listening who have children who are not responding to, some of the therapies that are out there and, behavior training and behavior modification or ABA or what have you? What would you say to encourage those parents who are in the trenches and just feel like it's never going to change?
Right. Well, I can tell you that we thought that for a while too. And I was the spaghetti mom, I was trying to find the spaghetti strands everywhere and throw them against the wall and see if they would stick for the first 3 or 4 years. And we had him in 40 hours of therapy, of ABA therapy. And we had him with an aide in preschool and they would always present the reports that would show, he was at 40% compliance and now he's at 45%, and those kinds of little incremental, but in a day-to-day situation, we weren't seeing it. And the only thing I can say is keep trying. And if you're in a therapy situation that is not producing results, get a new one and get a new person. You just never know who your child is going to respond to, or if there is a method that's there's just something off with whatever, road you happen to be going down. We had one group of therapists in here for probably a year and a half and didn't feel like anything was happening. And we met another gal that was introduced to us by our developmental pediatrician. And she looked at Brady and saw what he could do. And, he had an aide in class with him, and she looked at him and said, he's getting dependent on the aide. We need to wean him off of the aide. And I was terrified of that. He can't be in the classroom by himself with all these kids and taking instruction. And well, you know what? She was exactly right. And she helped us take that next step to wean him off of that dependence. He was becoming, he knew he didn't have to do certain things because the aide would help him with it. And so I think there are points in time, you've got to give everything an opportunity to do its work. You've got to give everything a cycle, I think, to have an impact. But if you're not seeing the change, then you know what? Talk to your We Are Brave Together moms. Talk to your community and find out who is seeing a difference in their child with this kind of thing. There really wasn't 10 years ago. There wasn't these communities like you have now and that are on Facebook and all of these other venues where I could just go and say, okay, my kid is doing this and it is not working. Who are you seeing? Where are you finding an impact? And, just you've got to keep trying. I talk about the fact that even if the next thing you do isn't the right thing, it's getting you one step closer to the thing that is. And lean on that community to get you to that next place.
Thanks so much for listening today. Do us a favor and leave us a review and a rating so that this podcast can get into the ears and the hearts of more and more moms. Did you know that Brave Together Parenting podcast is an extension of our nonprofit organization, We Are Brave Together? We Are Brave Together serves an international community of caregiving moms, offering support groups that are virtual and in-person, educational resources, and low-cost weekend retreats. And we have published our first anthology of caregiving stories entitled Becoming Brave Together, Heroic, Extraordinary Caregiving Stories from Mothers Hidden in Plain Sight. It will encourage and validate every parent caregiver. To join us today, go to wearebravetogether.org. Our support and sisterhood awaits you. Brave Together Parenting Podcast is for entertainment and education purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional care and should not be relied on for medical or mental health advice. The use of any content on our podcast, links, show notes, or on our website is to be done at your own personal risk, please seek out a professional to assess your own medical or mental health concerns, because we are all beautifully complex and the content of this podcast is for a broad audience.